Oh, howdy everyone. Welcome back to another weekend episode of Cooking with Mary Sue. Before we begin, I'd like to remind everybody to hit the links, hit the like and subscribe down at the bottom. There'll be links to my other channels. There's SUZYQKNICKKNACKS, my resale channel. There's a link to my eBay store and a link to my brand new channel I started this week, Gardening in the Delta. Yep. My husband and I both love to garden. I love to mainly do annuals in pots all around the front porch, back porch, by the pool, by the deck, all over the place. So I can change them each year to different flowers. But he likes to put perennials in the yard, which is a lot easier. They'll come back next year. You don't have to go out there and plant with a shovel and do all that hard work. But putting them in just pots and containers is pretty easy. So I do that and he does the yard. Tonight I was getting ready to cook supper and I decided to go ahead and tape it while I'm cooking it since I haven't cooked this one on video before. My husband asked me would I mind making a recipe out of his little old family tin can again. He's got this little family recipe can. You can see how old it is from all the rust on the bottom. It's pretty old. This thing's probably at least 40 years old, maybe older. And his recipe's probably from his mom, his grandmother, his first wife who has passed many years ago. And I said, sure, I'll hunt through there and find something I like. And easy, I did. I found this one called Cheeseburger Biscuit Bake. And it is pretty simple. It takes very few ingredients. It's easy to throw together, which is what I like. Minimum ingredients and quick and easy. And we're going to finish it, start over here on the stove. Before you jump over there though, I'll remind everybody, here's my book I wrote a few months ago and published. Had it published by Christian Faith Publishing House. It's based on little adventures of our cat outside named Miss Kitty. It's available on Amazon, eBay, Barnes & Noble, and iTunes. It's in an ebook also. So now let's jump over to the stove and finish. Or get started before we finish. Now we're over here. As you see, I'm cooking a pound of ground beef. This recipe only calls for a pound of ground beef, a can of biscuits, a little bit of minced onion, some shredded cheese, and 2 cans of cream of chicken soup. How simple can that be? And that's most things that I think most people usually have in their cabinet. Soup, beef, cheese. We're going to throw all this together and cook it in the oven. Let me get this turned back on here. I didn't want to get this cooking too fast before we got started here. It doesn't take too long for beef to cook. What I'm going to do here is add a couple, about 3-4 tablespoons of minced onion. The liquid in the ground beef will make the onion swell up. If you wanted to go to the extra trouble, you could dice your own onion, either way. But the recipe did call for minced onion, so that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to start out, I'm just going to put 2, I think that's enough. The liquid in this the liquid helps the onion to swell up. I always keep minced onion on hand for quick recipes. If I don't have any real onion always chopped up or in the freezer, I just throw this into a recipe. Turn the other burner off. I don't need 2 on. And this cooks all the way. I'm just going to drain it. There won't be much to drain, but I usually get beef that has a very low fat content. I can just wipe the grease out with a little paper towel and that's it. So let's just set it a few minutes. It'll be done in 2-3 minutes. Well, this beef is all done, and I really didn't have to drain any of it. There's very little grease or liquid in there, probably no more than a teaspoon. Like I said, it's because I buy beef that's usually very low fat content. So I'm not even going to fool with trying to drain any of this. Now I'm ready to add the soup. I've got 2 cans of cream of chicken soup. If you don't have cream of chicken, you can probably make this any other type of cream soup, like cream of potato, maybe cream of broccoli, cream of cheese soup. What else? Cream of celery. one down. Put this over here a minute. And it's going to be a very good little casserole. They'll make quite a bit. Be a lot for us, just us two, but this will be good for a family size. That's all the soup. I'm going to just stir all this together, the beef and the soup. I've got this cooking down on medium-low. Let me turn it a little bit lower. Down low. I don't want it to burn anything while it's just simmering. I'm just going to stir this so it's all mixed together. It's smelling delicious. I wouldn't normally thought to put beef and chicken together, but it is smelling good. I think it'll do great. If you like mushroom, you can try cream and mushroom soup. Personally, we don't like mushroom soup, so I never use it for recipes, but it is good for a lot of recipes if you like mushrooms. Turn it all the way on low. Let's see here for a little bit on low. I did not need to add any water to this, just the soup out of the can. That's it. Try to make sure all the soup is dissolved into the beef nice. No lumps in it. Okay, that can sit there and simmer for a few minutes. Won't hurt while I get the biscuits ready. I'm going to use this big 9x13 baking dish. I'm going to put enough biscuits to cover the bottom of this. Either 8, maybe 12. I've got 2 cans out. I may not need 2 cans, but I'll find out. I'm using jumbo biscuits, so they will spread out further. I may not need 2. Whoop, there they go. Pop. As I say, pop goes the weasel. Mash these out a little bit. Okay, put 3 across. I might have to open that other can. Which if I have too many biscuits, I can just cook the extra ones in the oven and just freeze them for later. Yeah, I'm going to need I better mash these out just a little bit. See how far they spread out. But I will need a few more. Kind of patting down with my knuckles, getting the flat out. Of course, I probably could have put this in a smaller dish. Then I wouldn't need more biscuits, but I wanted to cook a big dish. I didn't want to put it in a small dish. And the recipe didn't really say what size dish to use either, so I'm kind of guessing. If I used an 8x8 dish, 8 would have been enough. But since I'm using the bigger dish, I'll just open another can. Well, you know that one didn't want to open as easy. I'm using 12 biscuits. These other 4 I would just stick in a little pan by themselves and cook them, and I'll just have some extra biscuits for breakfast later. Kind of mash this together. Let me show you. See? That did take 12 biscuits because I used a bigger dish. Like I said, if I used a smaller dish, 8 would have been fine. I press them out, get them all mashed together. That's going to be the base of my casserole here, the biscuits. Okay, now I'm going to pour the stuff in the skillet, all the mix in the skillet, on top of the biscuits. Now you see what I have here, the whole 9 by 13 casserole dish full of 12 biscuits here. I'm going to pour my mixture here on top of that. Let me stir it just a little bit more. It's sliding right out of this copper shelf, that's for sure. I never have any problem anything sticking in these copper shelves. And I do always use the wooden spatula, the wooden spoons, so I don't scratch them. Okay. I'm going to spread this out all over the biscuits. It's covering it up nicely. Okay. There. This is going to bake in the oven for 425 for about 10 to 15 minutes. When I take it out, I'm going to put cheese on top and bake it for another 5 minutes. And I've chosen to put, you can put any type of cheese you want, any type of shredded flavor you like. I'm going to use mozzarella and a Mexican blend together, mainly because I want to use my oldest cheese out of the fridge before it gets bad. Now, I've had that mozzarella for a while, so I'm going to go and use it up on this casserole with a little bit of Mexican. So we'll pop this in the oven and see how it comes out in about 10-15 minutes. So as you can see, I just took this out of the oven. It's very hot. I'm going to put the cheese on top, put it back in for 5 more minutes. I was testing it all around. The way these biscuits swell up, well, this 9 by 13 pan was just big enough. I could not put this into an 8 by 8. I'm glad I didn't. It would be all over the oven if I did. The recipe called for 10 biscuits, and I'm sure since that recipe is so old, made probably 3 or 4 decades ago, that it may have been when they probably used a small can that had 10 biscuits, 10 small biscuits. That's probably before they came out with the jumbo biscuits nowadays. I used 12 jumbo in this dish here. Yeah. I'm loosening the sides here. They're just fine. They're just about done enough. Like I said, I'm going to add the cheese. And since I hate to throw anything out of my fridge if I can help it, I try to use everything before it goes bad. I'm going to finish up this mozzarella here. And if it's not enough, I'll put a little Mexican on top of it. There's nothing wrong with mixing your flavors of cheese together. Just create a new flavor that way. But you can use any flavor you like on cheese. If I wasn't going to be having to use this mozzarella, I'd probably use extra sharp cheddar, which is one of my favorites. Yeah, this is going to be plenty on here. There's probably about 2 cups in here I'm using up. This is going to be enough for us for probably 2 or 3 meals. I may wind up freezing half of this for later. Sometimes I'll make big casseroles, I'll freeze half, put it back, and label it, put it in the freezer, and pull it back out a few weeks from now when I don't feel like cooking. Even though you love to cook, sometimes just some days you just don't want to cook. You just want to throw something in the microwave and that's it. Yeah, this is just enough cheese. I won't need anything else on here. There, that's it. This is going back in. We'll see how it looks in about 5 minutes. We're back and we're done. We're all done. Look at this. I just took it out. It is gorgeous. Just perfect. That came out great. Now this is made just with just minimum ingredients. Didn't take long to throw it together and pop it in the oven. You could probably have this together for supper in less than an hour. Took 2 cans of cream of chicken soup, a pound of ground beef, a few tablespoons of minced onion, and a can of biscuits. I did use the jumbo biscuits. To fill this 9x13 pan, it took, I think I used 10. Yeah, so it took a little more than 1 can. I wouldn't suggest putting this in any smaller dish than 9x13 because it does fill it up pretty big, pretty full. About ready to call this a wrap. I'm going to enjoy that nice casserole cheeseburger. What was the name of it again? Cheeseburger biscuit bake. That's what we're going to have for supper tonight. And remind everybody about my book again. Available on Amazon, eBay, Barnes & Noble, and iTunes. Y'all have a blessed week, and please go over there and look at my other new channel called Gardening in the Delta. I'll have some links down below to help you find it easy. I need subscribers over there too, just like this one. So hope everybody that subscribed to this channel will also subscribe to that one. Bye y'all. Thanks.